Annette Mills.
Dave Eckert.
There are two organizations that I work through, primarily. The first is the Corvallis Sustainability Coalition, and along with several other people, I was co-founder of the coalition back in 2007. The coalition is a network of more than 350 partner organizations, including, of course, First Alternative Co-op, and we have 12 action teams: community inclusion, economic vitality, education, energy, food, health and human services, housing, land use, natural areas, transportation, waste prevention, and water. We are working on creating a sustainable community. The other organization that I volunteer with is the League of Women Voters of Corvallis, and that is where I primarily do my advocacy.
Well, I volunteer with three organizations. And the first is the Corvallis Sustainability Coalition, and I lead up the Water Action Team. And we work on all kinds of projects related to creeks, wetlands, any surface water, a little bit groundwater too, all around town. In fact, we're having a big project replacing a culvert over by Bald Hill, from a 10-inch culvert to an 8-foot wide culvert with a natural stream bed. And that'll revive or resurrect a lost creek. The second one is the Mary's Peak group of the Sierra Club. I'm the program chair, and beside running hikes and things like that, I run two webinar and sometimes live series, the Frankel Spring Environment and Hiking Series, and the second is the Champinafu Presentation Series. And we collaborate with other groups like the Coalition and the Spring Creek Project, and most notably the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, who plan what the presentations are. And the third one is the Mary's Peak Alliance, which an alliance of people who work to promote and protect Mary's Peak. And we take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students up there every year and work with the Forest Service and BLM to protect it.
In a very broad sense, what drives me is a love of life. I feel very lucky to be alive. I feel very lucky to live on this incredibly beautiful planet. I feel like we're not aligned as well with protecting the planet as we need to be. And so I know that it's a hackneyed expression, but I do think globally and act locally. I really love being engaged with people. I love networking. Also, I had two very great models in my parents because they were both very active in the community where we lived. So I'm sure that has influenced me.
Well, during my employment phase of my life, I worked on national programs, and it's really hard on national level programs to see, touch, feel the real results. You can intellectualize them, but it's hard to actually feel them. And Annette taught me how to work within the community. I'd never worked in community issues before. And Annette taught me how to do that when we were back in Virginia and carried it out to here.
Before we made the move from the East Coast to Oregon, we made our list of 10 things we were looking for in our ideal community. And a natural foods co-op was on our list of 10 because every community we've lived in, there has been a co-op where we've done our shopping. So when we came to Corvallis in 2006 to check it out, we walked into the South Co-op. We thought we'd died and gone to heaven. We were so excited. So the co-op is one of the reasons that we moved to Corvallis. And when we went back to Virginia after our trip out, to check out Corvallis, I told some of my friends about the co-op, and as one of the going away gifts they gave me was a membership to First Alternative. So I had that membership before we even moved here. There are so many things I love about First Alternative, and one of the first things that comes to mind is the size of the co-op. I love that it's large enough to meet all of our grocery needs, but small enough to feel very personal. And I just really love going to the co-op and shopping there. Grocery shopping is not something that I always enjoyed doing when I was going to, big supermarkets and so on. So the size of the co-op means a lot to me, and the great customer service. I also love all of the foundational principles of the co-op, all of their sustainability guidelines and so on, I think are really important.
Like Annette said, I like the feel of the co-op. Everybody is so friendly and helpful and enthusiastic, and everything looks so good there. And then all the products are so good. And then also the sustainability practices, the fact that so long ago the co-op was involved with solar energy directly, and then became involved with water conservation, water efficiency, got involved with working with local farmers, so closely. That is how we learned about the local farmers, is through the co-op originally. And just so many facets, and then they're so tied into the community. I mean, it's not like a business that is separate. It is completely ingrained within the entire community. As far as products, the bulk and the local products are my high point. I mean, I like everything in there, but bulk is way over the top. I know that other supermarkets have bulk, but nothing like this. It's not just grains. You can think of almost anything that is a product. It's just right there for you, whether it's liquid or solid. And then local. I mean, where else can you truly buy local that is in fact local, and you in fact know where the farmer is?
So music has almost always played a really important role in my life. I've been playing the piano since I was 6 years old, and I'm now 74, so that's a very long time. And I still, every evening, thanks to David's encouragement, I sit down at the piano and play for a little while. And also once a month I get together with my good friend Maureen Beeshold, and we play duets, and that is just such a treat.
Pre-employment phase for my life, I was a rock and jazz musician, playing in bands on the East Coast. And post-employment phase, I made documentary films about environmental issues, particularly urban environmental issues. And in terms of sustainability, we have been meat-free since 1990, Earth Day, 1990. We have been car-free since 2006. And we've been plane-free, Plane. We've been plane-free since 2008.